Is it really possible to do the touring on Max 100, RX 100, Samurai, whatever two stroke? It is possible, but you have to keep these things in your mind. Hey God, welcome back with brand new video, and you can see our 135 right here. Let's come to the point straight. So today's video is all about touring on two-stroke motorcycle. Is it really possible to do the touring on two-stroke motorcycles? Yes, it's possible. So you have to keep in mind all of the things that I say in this video, so make sure to watch this video till the end. Came with a very good important list where I want to share with you guys. So I'm going to talk about 2 points right now. So first thing, things to check before the ride, and the second point that I'm going to talk about is things you have to carry for this ride. So first we'll talk about what are the things you have to check before starting the ride. So the first thing that I would say are the tires, rims and spokes, because these are only the thing that keeps the traction between you and the road. So make sure you have a good grip tires, especially if your tires are old. Make sure to change them before you are going for a long ride. So the tires are very important, and also a lot of people just think about tires, but you also have to check the rims and also the spokes, because if your rim is very bad condition, if it's rusted, when you do the long rides, you will cruise at 60s 70s. So at that time sometimes you can see some potholes on the highways too. So if you be in that pothole at 70 kilometers per hour, if the rim is rusted and it's not in a good shape, those will not take the impact and they will bend. At the time you don't have anything to respond, you will just be on the road in next 1 or 2 seconds. So make sure you have good tires, rims and spokes. Okay, and the second point that I'm going to talk about, the brakes. So we have the drum brakes, right? You can see drum brakes, I mean brake shoes on this. And if you have a disc plate, then you have brake pads. So what happens if you have a disc plate, you can easily remove, you can see a caliper at the back disc plate. So remove the caliper and remove the brake pads and change it. It's simple. But in our motorcycles we have to remove the tire and then we have to replace the brake shoes. You really don't want to take out your wheels in the middle of your ride, so make sure to change them before going for the ride. And the third thing that we're going to talk about is the suspension. You can see back shocks and the front shock absorbers. Check this on the pipe. If you see any oil right here, then that's the time to replace. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about, sprockets and drum rubbers. If you have a worn out sprocket and worn out chain in the middle of nowhere, you'll cruise at 70-80 kilometers per hour, right? So if something goes wrong, if your chain breaks, then no one will rescue you at that moment. So better you have to change the sprockets too if they are worn out. But if they are good in shape, then just clean and lube it. And also make sure to check the drum rubbers. Check the drum rubbers, you don't need to open it. Just you open the chain cover, and if you hold the sprocket, just move front and back. If you see the plate tuck tuck tuck, some kind of sound that comes when you ride the motorcycle. So that's how I simplified. And if you see the play front and back, then your rubbers are worn out. So all the things that I said to you right now are for your safety. If you check the engine and if you go for a ride, if your engine is good but all of these things are bad, then you might end up in a fatal crash. So I don't want to do that, so that's why I'm saying all these things at the first. And now for the engine wise, so don't think much about the engine, how it performs or it will survive or not, like that. I would say one simple thing: go for a short ride before a big ride. So if you're doing for 1000 kilometers ride, go for a short ride for around 100 kilometers. Decide yourself whether your motorcycle is gonna survive for that big ride or not. You'll get to know everything about your motorcycle if you do a short ride like that. So after doing 100 kilometers ride, you'll get to know what's the average mileage and what's the cruising speed that you can do. And if you have any problems, you'll got to know, and you'll also know for how many kilometers your motorcycle need a brake. So after riding 100 kilometers or 150 kilometers, you will get to know what are the things you have to change. If you think your clutch is slipping, then you have to change the clutch plates. So you will get to know everything after riding your motorcycle. So better feel it before taking it for a long ride. So this is all about what are the things you have to check before going for a long ride. And now we'll talk about things you have to carry for the long ride. So what are the things you have to carry for the long ride? Get a small ratchet kit, you can keep it in your bag. And second thing, you can have spanners and a cutting plier, which is the main thing. Always get a cutting plier with you, so if anything happens, it's a simple thing to tight it if you don't have the tool to. And try to carry extra spark plug. I always do it in my small toolbox. So extra spark plug and spark plug removal tool, and also 2T oil packets I will carry. And I'll also carry a syringe. So why a injection? If your motorcycle seized, unfortunately if it seized, then just remove the spark plug, add some 2T oil from above the head, and just leave it for a couple of minutes, like 3 or 4 minutes, and then just try to kick it with your hand. If you don't have spark plug, then your kick rod will move very smoothly. And if you feel the piston is kind of smooth, add more extra 2T oil and do it for a couple of times, and then put back your spark plug and then start it. You'll all good to know. And also take care extra petrol pipe and also 2T oil pipes. And also along with that, you also have to carry the clutch cable, the accelerator cable, and also carry extra tube, the air pump to be say precise, something with a handy or something with you. Some people use it with the leg, right, to pump the air in the tires. So make sure you get those. If some puncture happens, just fill it and ride for a couple of kilometers, and then you can do that. Now I'm going to share my personal experience about long rides on two-stroke motorcycles. So the first thing that I would say you is, don't take too much luggage. Don't take too much luggage on your motorcycle. Some people really put a lot of luggage that they never use on that ride. I also did the same mistake in Maradmilli, and also try to ride it solo. Yes, you can ride to Kerala to Kashmir with a pillion. Some people did it, but what I recommend is, I also went with the pillion ride. So I would recommend you guys to ride solo. If you want a friend, ask him to get him another motorcycle, so that your motorcycle don't feel a lot of stress. Before going for a ride, I would recommend you guys to change the filter. If it's a, I mean the petrol filter, or if it's good, then open up the carburetor and clean it really well. Clean it and tune it, and then go for the ride. So if something got stuck, then again in the ride you have to remove the carburetor, clean it. It's a big headache. So before going for a ride, clean it and put it back. And next thing that I would suggest you guys to use more 2T oil. If you use premix, if you're using 40 ml per liter right now, use 50 ml on touring, and increase 2T oil flow. If you're using a 2T oil pump, you have to increase the flow. You can see, you can just turn it anti-clockwise. You can see, just turn it anti-clockwise and tight it. Next thing I would say, hazard lamps. You can see right now, it's not a big thing. I already made a video about it, how to install hazard lamps on your motorcycle. So if you turn, if you keep an indicator one side, on the left side, on the right side, whatever it might be, just turn it on. See, now you can see 4 indicators, both are blinking. So now at the back you can see both indicators are blinking. These are LEDs, not so bright, but they don't drain battery so much compared to the halogen bulbs. You can see at the front also. If you stuck somewhere, or if you need some help, you can turn this on. And the big thing that I would say was to get the mobile holder with a charger. So previously I thought, I went with my sister, right? I gave my mobile phone to my sister and said, navigate me, I'm gonna ride the motorcycle. But you know guys, they really can't navigate. They say right left, whatever they want to say. And if you use the mobile holder, that would be much accurate than someone holding it here and there. So get a mobile phone holder with a charger, so that will help you on the long rides. And you can also charge your camera or something else too with that output. And also install fog lamps, because these lights are candle lights, they don't illuminate a lot of light. So you can see that he agreed that he can't illuminate a lot of light. So always get fog lamps, because you can't really see anything with these lights. So get the fog lamps, and also clean the chain and lube it for every 500 kilometers. If you're going for a ride like 1500 2000 kilometers, just stop for every 500 kilometers or something like that. Just clean it and lube it, so that your chain is going to be good. So this is all about for this video guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Until then, ride safe, be safe, peace.